Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today is not Wednesday, but that will not stop us from playing the good old Brawl. Specifically, we're going to be playing some historic Brawl, and I know I said I would come back and play some Gitrog Monster, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So, the Gitrog Monster was a Brawl deck we played before. It's one of those cards that just recently got added to Arena. I'm assuming it's for the next event that we don't speak of, as a card reward, but it came in a little bit early. I think it was because they wanted to update before Worlds. That's kind of my conspiracy theory. Not sure if I can confirm or deny that, but yeah, we're going to be playing the Gitrog Monster, but we're going to be doing in Historic, because, funnily enough, Historic has got a lot of really good Gitrog Monster cards, so I'm really going to go into a lot of the cards that we added from the previous list that really take this card way over the edge. So, there's a few cards. There is things like Crucible of Worlds, which allows you to play land cards from your graveyard, which completely nullifies the Gitrog Monster's downside. Since you get to play additional land drops each turn, you get to play the one that you sacked, and if you drew another land, you can play that one as well. So this is effectively a ramp spell as long as the Gitrog Monster's out, and it goes really well with fetch lands as well. We got the Fabled Passage, Evolving Wilds, and to a certain extent as well, Field of Ruin. You may notice Field of the Dead is in here, and that is because we're running Scapeshift, another wonderful little card. Scapeshift, 4 mana, sacrifice any number of lands, search your library for up to that many land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. So it wouldn't be Scapeshift without having Field of the Dead in here, so we can pull all of our non-basics and make a crap ton of zombies. It only triggers the Gitrog Monster draw once, because it's only one or more land cards. Any additional lands that come out as far as Scapeshift are concerned are not going to draw you those additional ones. I think in the gameplay today I do mention that you can draw multiples, but I'm lying. So there is that. Other than that, we've got some of the flip lands as well. Thematic Compass allows you to search for basics and then turns into a Maze of Ith, which is wonderful. We got some old school Llanowar Scouts allowing us to do a little bit of extra land droppage, which is lovely. Elvish Rejuvenator allowing to look at the top 5 and put a land from among them. Nice ramp. We got the Swordtooth and the Dryad. These are also allowing us to do additional land drops each turn, which is great. Dryad specifically allowing you to turn all of your lands into each basic land type, which is very useful if you want a mana fix, but in a 2-color deck, not really going to be a thing. But yeah, we've got a lot of recursion as well. It was a similar theme to the previous deck as well. We got the Acolyte of Affliction, Golgari Finebroker, things like that to pull from our graveyard any permanents we have. Very permanent based in this deck. And we also have World Shaper, which is awesome with the Gitrog Monster. 4 mana for a 3/3. When it attacks, you may put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, which, if you put a land in with the Gitrog Monster out, means you draw a card. So it's a 3/3 that attacks and potentially draws you a card. And then when it dies, you put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Again, nullifying the downside of the Gitrog Monster's sacrifice there. Just bringing everything back, and it's super ramp at that point. We have the Mending of the Dominaria, which does a similar thing to World Shaper as well. However, on chapters 1 and 2, it mills 2 instead of 3, and also allows us to put a creature card from our graveyard back to our hands, so we can pull back our Gitrog Monsters if we want, or any of our ramp spells. A lot of our creatures are removal or recursion based as well, so we can use like Finebroker to pull Mending a Dominaria, because Mending shuffles your graveyard into your library, but it leaves Mending in there as well, so we can really loop these together to never deck ourselves essentially. Multani, Yavimaya Avatar, really loves lands in field and lands in graveyard, so no matter where we're sacrificing and shoving these lands, Multani is just going to grow ever greater. We can also recur him as well by returning 2 lands to our owner's hand, which obviously, if we're making additional land drops, means that we're basically not going down on mana when we return him. So he's going to be a really huge, reaching, trampling monster. And then finally, we got Vraska Relic Seeker, which is an absolute powerhouse of a card. The -3 just gets rid of everything. Artifact, creature, or enchantment, and then you get to create a treasure token, which is ramp as well. And you can win the game by ticking up to make pirate menacing tokens, and then finally get into that -10 to turn your opponent's life total to 1, so that you can swing in with the pirates. This thing is a win con and just a removal source all on its own. Does lots of awesome stuff. I don't think there's too much to go into as far as the mana base is concerned. We've got Memorial to Folly to pull creatures, and yeah, that's really about it, I think. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anyway, guys, if you enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to personal deck critiques from myself every month, then check out the Patreon link down in the description below. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in, and what are we doing with this hand? We've got a Death Sprout on 4. Our opponent's playing Tulane, Teller of Tales, so we can answer Tulane in time. It's just, we probably want to kill things early in that. I don't think we can keep this hand. Let's take the free mull. And this one looks much better, so I'm going to take it. So, opponents, Temple of Mystery. So Tulane, Teller of Tales is a Bant commander, a 2/4 with Vigilance, and whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card, and then you get to put a land into play. I don't think I want the Find Finality just yet, although maybe late game it could be quite useful. You know what? It's probably really good against our opponent, so I probably don't want to bottom it. And then you can also pay the 3 and tap Tulane so that you can bounce a creature to reuse all of their shenanigans. Okay, I think we're going with the Evolving Wilds here. It's an argument to hold it in our hand for when the Gitrog monster comes down so that we can get guaranteed value on the land going into our graveyard, but I don't think we're going to need to do that anytime soon, so I'd rather just get that tap land out of the way. Elvish Visionary for our opponent. It's a pretty good one to bounce. So we are going to go get, I think, a forest. Yeah. Let's grow a forest. Opponent draws a card. They got 2 mana left over, so mana dork mana potentially. There's a lot of mana dorks in Tulane because you want to get to this nice and early so you can get that advantage going before your opponent can stop it. And in our particular case, opponent's got a pretty decent attacking creature here. Seems to be the case. This one can't be the target of abilities your opponents control. So I can't minus on it or anything like that. We're going to let this go though. So I dare say I can play the Gitrog monster just fine. Opponent with their 1 mana Llanowar Elves. Elvish Reclaimer, okay. Ooh, we have World Shaper. I think we want the Gitrog monster though. Do we want the Gitrog monster? I think we do. Let's get the card advantage going. It's hopefully going to be a big enough blocker for Shana. They have to play 2 creatures here, which means they're playing into Finality. Charming Prince gets to flicker, so that's going to be card draw from Elvish Visionary and an extra trigger on the Mace of the Valiant, which they can't equip this turn. Time Stream Navigator, nice. Alright, well, we need to draw a land, and then we get to wipe this entire board and keep our Gitrog monster around. So we're going to go and get rid of the swamp. Draw a card, draw an extra card. Not quite. Actually, that's okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, let's just Finality. Wipe the board, get rid of some mana rocks, and keep our opponent pinched on mana. We're going to take the action, putting some counters on the Gitrog monster because we want him nice and huge massive. Alright, he's an 8/8 now. Could have put it on the Leyline Prowler for sure, but I like big Gitrog monsters. What can I say? I'm greedy. And I think we've probably got a decent enough board state that it shouldn't matter. Fauna Shaman, sure. So, get rid of a swamp. Golgari Finebroker is technically a land drop for the turn, but we can go with... What do we want? I think maybe World Shaper, because if it dies on the block, we actually get all the lands we've sacrificed up until this point. Which is pretty good. So yeah, opponent has to exile World Shaper, otherwise Gitrog monster's value is just going to come right on back. Here's Tulane. Can answer Tulane in a lovely amount of ways. So we're going to go get rid of the swamp. Hopefully draw a land. It's a tap land. Oh, lucky us. Lucky us. So yeah, I think we just want a Voracious Hydra X3. Do we want a Voracious Hydra X3? Want to make our extra land drop is what we definitely want to do. I think I might swing with World Shaper and the Gitrog monster. Yep, put the top 3 in. Hit 1 land. Draw a card. And see where we go from there. Opponent will be chomping, yep. And let the other 3 go through. Totally fair. And yeah, I think we'll just go with the Acolyte of Affliction here. Put a land in, draw a card. We'll go with Evolving Wilds, since we can sack that and draw a card. And now we've even got a Vraska Relic Seeker to take care of the Tulane. We've even got a Vraska tick up and kill our own World Shaper, which is pretty cool. I like that idea. Opponent has no double blue, so which is good for us, because it means that they don't have Frilled Mystic open just yet, which is definitely a key feature of their deck that you've got to be aware of. So we've got land drop, land drop. We're going to crack this land now, just so we see some extra cards. Memorial. Grab a forest. Yeah, I kind of think that we go for Vraska Sack World Shaper. Is these tapped? It is tapped. Could be Vraska minus on Tulane then. But they can bounce their own Tulane for the record. So you have to play it in such a way when they come down summoning sick, we can get them then. Yeah, I think I might just go Vraska and sack my own World Shaper post-combat. So if they don't kill it here,
step aside or be crushed.
Then I get this trigger. And I get an extra land. Alright, draw a card. Mending a Dominaria, very nice. March of the Multitudes is what they were holding on to. Okay. It's totally fine by me. We've got the blocker for that Mace of the Valiant. Not that we're going to need it. Oops. Apologies for the ding. Yeah, I think we're just going to get rid of our World Shaper, and this is going to give us an absurd amount of mana to work with next turn. Look at that. Ain't it beautiful? And yep, it's past the turn. Discard Memorial, so Mending of Dominaria has something to do. And God, there's so many good cards here. We've got so much removal, I think Murderous Rider can go away. Put a land in the bin, so we have to draw another card. We'll get rid of Relentless Pursuit, because we've got too much card advantage as it stands. How many cards have we got left? 24. Sorry, that's me again. You just hate it. What's the equip on this? 3. So they're going to gain an absurd amount of life. Yeah. They don't get the buff if they go for, yeah, the all attack here, so 2, 4, 6. She's dead anyway, so I might as well block the Fauna Shaman. Sorry, that's me again. God dang it. Goodbye, Vraska. You were useful. Alright, we sack a land. We're going to sack this swamp, since most of our hand is green. Woodland Cemetery. Very nice. Okay. So then, it's time. We go Vraska Relic Seeker. We want to use all of our colourless lands here, I think. Get them out of the way. Also, I'm just going to crack my Evolving Wilds now. For extra information, it's another land drop. Good to know. Let's grab our forest, play our new land. Yeah, I think we're going Vraska, kill Mace of the Valiant. Sorry, that's me again. Actually, we'll kill yeah, we'll kill Mace of the Valiant. So boop your Mace.
Lord Nicholas will not be pleased.
There we go. Play Arcane Signet. Not done the math on what mana I've got remaining here, but I imagine I've got a decent enough amount of mana. Yeah, then we're going to go with, I think, Garruk minus on Tulane. Yeah, it leaves him in a reasonable position where I don't think we have to struggle to keep any of our planeswalkers alive. And yep, we managed to do it. Alright, pretty good showing. That's when the deck really steamrolls out of control. Apologies for the Facebook pings. Sometimes when I tab out to deal with that, it can ruin the recording, so I had to just deal with it. Anyway, let's go for another game. Alright then, we're in, and we've got a pretty cool hand actually. Turn 3 Dryads, not doing too much up until that point, but you know, Questing Beast, pretty good against Nissa, which is our opponent's commander. The only annoying thing I think is for this particular matchup is that our opponent's deck is very much at the same speed as us, up until the point where they just go Finale X10 and win. I don't know if we can beat Finale X10, so we kind of have to race. We have to be the aggressor in this matchup, and I don't know, maybe this hand's not good enough for that. We'll have to see, won't we? Vraska Relic Seeker, okay. It's a pretty good card. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. We'll try. Opponent with Paradise Druid, okay. And we're hitting our land drops, which is great. You love to see that, especially when we get to go turn 3 Dryad to ramp up a little bit. We can maybe make an extra land drop to get the Gitrog monster down. Which would be wonderful. Ooh, Vraska. Alright, so let's go Dryad, make our land drop, and then we're ready to go either Vraska or Questing Beast this turn. We'll see which one we want to go with. Opponents, their gingerbread cabin into Nisu shakes the world. So yeah, we're going to be going and Questing Beast in our opponent, I think.
The land shall conquer you.
Opponent plays their forest and Reclamation Sage on Dryads. That's just rude. And now they've got a Questing Beast blocker as well. It just couldn't get any better for them, could it? Alright, well, we go Castle Garenbrig. It just feels so bad in every aspect. I guess we're Questing Beasting, though. Opponent can't block, so we're going to go straight to face. And then the trigger on the 7th line of text on Questing Beast will hit Nissa. Now we just need to keep the pips off of our opponent's board, but I think they've got like a rabid bite here. Yep. So yeah, I think we're just dead.
Behold, nature's true
Nothing we can do here, is there? Take 9 million damage. Too slow. Should have milled my hand, I think. I don't even know what we could have at this point. Nessian Bar, are you kidding me? What on earth? We got a land. We can play Multani and die, and yep, that's about it. So let's go for the next game. Alrighty then, we're in. We have all of our fetches and an Overgrown Tomb for a turn 3 Leyline Prowler, so this is it's not too bad, to be honest. We've got lots of ways of generating mana anyway. And our opponent's playing Golos. Tired of seeing this Pilgrim. Wouldn't be a Brawl video without at least one person playing Golos. Dear. Alright, so we're going to go with Evolving Wilds. It's the one land that's always going to be tapped here. We might end up finding a position where Fabled Passage actually comes into play untapped, so we're going to wait on that one. Opponent leads with the Temple of Mystery, scrying probably to the top. They want to make all 5 colours of their mana base ready to go, but Golos also just doesn't care about that, because all he does is grab a colourless land called Field of the Dead. Yay. Alright, so, crack this. We'll go grab a Forest and draw a Garenbrig. Look at that. Alright. So yeah, we are at a position where Fabled Passage will be untapped if we shock ourselves with Overgrown. Actually, no, we don't have to do that. We just go like that. Play a Garenbrig next turn into Leyline Prowler, and then Fabled Passage ready to go. Could go with a World Shaper, perhaps. Opponent with the Selesnya Guildgates. Alright, so we play Garenbrig and Leyline Prowler. And we have the 5 mana for the Gitrog monster now, or we could go with World Shaper. Kind of feel like maybe playing World Shaper first might be a good idea, since we can use it to attack and then get some Gitrog monster value when it self-mills. Or the Guardian Project. It's also pretty good. I actually think Vivian minus on Arcane Signet is maybe the best thing that we could do here, though. So, crack the Fabled Passage and grab a Swamp. And then hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Tail's End or a Negate. And then we can take out the Arcane Signet, which is currently fixing their mana. So Vivian, try and dodge a counter spell. Looks like we haven't managed to do that. Oh, we have. Never mind. Alright then. Get rid of Arcane Signet. Assassin's Trophy. Oh, sweet. Alright, that works for me. So we get rid of their Arcane Signet. We actually ramp as well. And that might just leave our opponent in a position that they can't really come back from. They will definitely have some time to come back for sure, because we're not a very fast deck necessarily. We've got 2 mana from a 4-drop. We could return a permanent card from our graveyard to our hand with Acolyte, which could be a land drop, but that doesn't really lead me into anything. I think maybe we'll go for World Shaper. Hold up on this Assassin's Trophy. And pass the turn. Assassin's Trophy is a bad answer to Golos, unfortunately, because obviously they just play Golos again, and all we're doing really at that point is helping them. So, yeah, it's a thing that you probably should remove, but at the same time, probably not with an Assassin's Trophy. Vraska Relic Seeker. I like that. So we could go Vraska, kill Golos, attack with World Shaper. Boop you. Again, if they got an untapped land, it's not going to go great for us, but we are ramping while also killing a creature here. We're even getting a World Shaper trigger in, which is hopefully going to hit a land. Good stuff. So if World Shaper dies, we're going to get those lands. And we'll see what we can do from there. I really like our board state, though. We're going to be making 2/2 Menaces with Vraska Relic Seeker. Ready to minus again. This thing's broken and busted, but opponent has their good old Field of the Dead ready to go. X5 Hydroid Krasis. We have a Multani. Multani's pretty good. So, let's tick up with Vraska. Fight them, you maggots. Is it going to be Acolyte for a land drop play something? Or should we just go Gitrog monster? We do have Multani, who is going to be able to block Hydroid Krasis. Which it actually showed you the power and toughness. Don't know why it doesn't. Got to do the math myself. Dang it. I swear that was a thing before. Am I going wrong? I'm going mad? Might be. What are we doing? I think we're going to go Gitrog monster. Get that down. I don't think I care too much necessarily about keeping my stuff alive. We roll over a land, which triggers the Gitrog monster. Hits a land. Good stuff. Then we've got Leyline Prowler and then the token to Assassin's Trophy Hydroid Krasis if we want to save Vraska, which I think we might. Opponent deciding whether or not they want to block. It's definitely a thing they want to consider very carefully. Alright, so now I don't even have to crack my treasure to Assassin's Trophy. I do to Murderous Rider, though, but it's all dependent on the situation. Opponent has no red mana yet, so we don't have to worry too much about Golos, but the next time he comes down, it's probably going to be a command tower. Yeah, I kind of think that we Trophy the Hydroid Crisis. It gives them the mana right now, though. Does that matter? I don't think so. So they get a zombie from their land. I don't want to rely on Assassin's Trophy too much, so let's just get it out of the way. Maybe your opponent's not actually after Golos activations. No red in their deck at all? You'd think they'd pull a mountain there, but I guess with the Golos, you have a lot of non-basics, so they might be prioritizing the basics that matter here, in case they get Assassin's Trophied. There's not always room for all 5 colours of basic land art. So, we have the Guardian Project. Acolyte of Affliction can get back all sorts, to be honest. We have a lot of options. It's going to be a Realm Cloaked Giant. Okay. I am going to put Gitrog in the graveyard, I think. Actually, no, I'll put him in the command zone. I'll use Acolyte to get back, like, Vivian or something like that. World Shaper's going to ramp me up as well. So I'll have a lot of mana to cast him. So I helped my opponent with an Assassin's Trophy. They helped me with a Realm Cloaked Giant. Opponent with the Deputy of Detention. We have the Murderous Rider, though, so it's not too bad. Alright, so we're going to go Forest. We're going to go Gitrog Monster. We will crack with Fabled Passage, draw a card. Get Mending a Dominaria, that's awesome. We will grab a Swamp, I think, and Evolving Wilds. We will also crack that and get our value while we still can. Draw a card. Got our own Field of the Dead, boys. Boop that into play. That's for when we escape shift and things like that and have our Mending a Dominaria. All sorts of cool stuff can happen. Yeah, I think we're going to go Mending a Dominaria. Put the top 2 cards in. If any of them are lands, we draw a card. And then we get to bring back a creature, which is going to be... I think Voracious Hydra. It could be Finebroker, actually. Yeah, I think it's Finebroker. Gets to pull back permanents. And we got Escape Shift. Fantastic. 12 lands left in the deck. 28 cards left. We can just, like, crazy card advantage, I think, but... I'm a little too cautious about that one. Let's Field of the Dead. Oh, Omniscience. Oh, dear. Well, they can only play from hand, so they've got 3 cards to work with. Cavalier of Thorns is one of them. They get their land. Field of the Dead triggers. Yeah, I think they're all in on the Field of the Dead plan. Where are they going to minus? They're looking in my graveyard to see if the minus matters, and it definitely will, but I'm going to get it back with Finebroker anyway, so... It's no biggie. Yeah, and now they have to deal with a Multani as well. With all that said. I think I am going to float my mana. And I'm going to Murderous Rider the Deputy of Detention. To get my Vraska back. And then I can use Gitrog Monster to eat a tap land instead of a untapped land here to draw an extra card. Eat to Extinction is a good answer. We get rid of Omniscience. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's play a land. And I think we want to kill Eugene. Let's tap with our... Actually, we should Field of Ruin there, Field of the Dead, for sure. Don't know why I'm not doing that just yet. Let's just do that now. Draw a card. Death Sprout is a good one. Last forest in the deck. And let's see, we've got the scape shift. So I can pull a number of lands out, all of my non-basics. We've got 10 left in the deck, apparently. So that's 10 zombies. Draw 10. It's a risky one. Not gonna lie. Is it a risk I need to take? I don't necessarily think it is. So I think we're gonna go with Multani. There's a nice big trampling 17-17. And then we're going to eat to Extinction Eugene, I think. Actually, no, we want to hit Cavalier of Thorns. Eugene's not going to do much good here. Do I want that in the graveyard? I do not. I'd love to draw that. I'm going to send this at Eugene. They'll be either forced to block with a 2-2, which is definitely the thing they want to do, because they're going to make 2-2 anyway. But the less blockers they have, the better. Ooh, we're gonna let it go. Alright. I don't see much of a reason not to block there. As I mentioned, you kill a zombie, but then Eugene ticks up and makes another 2-2, but that 2-2 has better blocking power, since it basically draws you a card. So what can they do here? This looks maybe like a... Oh, it's an Ashiok. Okay. It's pretty good, but... They got a lot of work to do. To kill Vraska, they have to attack all into Multani. They're not making zombies anymore, and I've got my 17-17. Which I can push through a little bit more damage by scape shifting and adding another 10 power to the board. There goes my graveyard, takes him down to a 12. Alright, so we want to Death Sprout Golos. Just to get that 5 toughness out of the way. We don't get to search, which is totally fine. We'll get rid of a forest. We got Witch's Cottage and Command Tower. So we play a land, activate Field of the Dead for sure, and get rid of a token. And then we're going to scape shift for 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And doesn't really matter. 7. Grab the last. Never mind. Oops. Oopsie doodles. Alright, well, in that case. Planeswalker, land, creature. Goddamn Ashiok, swear down. Let's get rid of that red source, I guess. I always forget about Ashiok. Always does me wrong. But I think we're pretty much locked into this game for a victory anyway. Opponents that won, they need literally a board wipe. Oh dear. Hands up in chat if you've ever done that with Escape Shift. I know it's not my first time. Okay. Opponent eats my Multani. Plays my Multani. I will probably lose, knowing my luck. Crack the Swamp. Draw a card. Arcane Signet. So we have... let's see. Temple of Malady, I think. Make a Zomb. Do not want Llanowar Scout. And we'll go Arcane Signet and we'll find an answer to our own Multani. with this Fine Broker. Silly, silly me. Yeah, we're going to get that Vraska Relic Seeker out of our graveyard. I mean, they are forced to block the Gitrog monster here. So we might as well swing with it. We definitely don't need to be sacking lands anyway at this point. How many cards we got left? 14. It'd be so much less if we'd have actually successfully scape-shifted. Oh dear. It's a very time raveler. Okay. Bounce a zombie. We have the answer to Multani, so they're going to need sufficient amount of blockers. Otherwise, they are just dead here. Need to block all 3. And they've got a 9 cost and a 7 cost here. So this card needs to be castable alongside these, and it needs to answer my board state. Kenrith. That gives him a little bit of life. Takes him up to 6. Okay. So, resolve. We'll go with Witch's Cottage, I guess. Draw a card. It's a Relentless Pursuit and a Memorial. So, play Memorial, get a zombie. Play Vraska. To kill Multani.
I will be the one to guide my people. Back to the ship.
And then we'll force a block right here. Boop, boop, boop. Yep. So we're going to gain 5 life, I'm assuming. Be a good idea. Yeah, which means they can't put the counters on to keep Gitrog alive. Oh, kill Gitrog, should I say. They lose Kenrith, so they can't reanimate any nice things. And I'm going to bring back my Multani by bouncing 2 lands. We're going to go with Temple... Command Tower, I guess. Yeah, I don't need a scry. Let's go Ground Tomb. Tap land. Alright. Again, board wipe or bust. Now we have the Vraska Minus to kill a creature. And yeah. Alright, well, that was pretty great, other than the Scapeshift punt, which I have no regrets about. I've done it many times, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to do it again. I don't care, it was funny. But if you didn't find it funny, sorry. I guess. Alright, well, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.